Okay, here we go. Well, tonight we're going to do a feature on Justin Wells. Justin, you run down here around southwest Missouri and South Missouri for a long time. Give me a little idea how you got started racing down here.
Well, you know, racing was just always kind of in my blood. My father had always raced, and had a good neighbor, Ken Essery, that came by all the time. And
that'd be a good one to have.
So anyway, we started street stocks about where everybody else does, and worked all the way up, you know, modifieds and limited late models, and I guess we've been pretty much steady in late models since about 2000. Yeah. And I guess the first race we ran was somewhere in the 92, 93. Yeah. So we've been around this a long time, basically my whole life.
I presume you had some success at that earlier thing, because I know most racers, you know, the way I look at it is if you're not beating the guys you run with every week, there ain't no sense going anywhere. You might as well stay there until you can figure that out. But you must have had some early success. Yeah,
you know, it was really good. I mean, I think during 1 year we won in every class at Monette besides one class, and that was mini stock. And we didn't have nothing to race, or we might have had a shot. But yeah, we won a few modified races, won some street stock races, and never really put a whole lot of effort into it till about 99, 2000. That's when we started, you know, I got married and kind of settled down and got in a rhythm of things. And so about the early 2000s, we started having pretty good success.
I was going to say, them women have a way of changing things in our lives now, don't they?
Women and babies, that changes everything. So yeah, it was really good for me. So yeah, this is a family sport. So me and my son, my wife, and all of our friends do it together. That's if one can't go, we usually don't go. I mean, we just try to keep it in the family.
I was going to say, and once again, bringing up Southern Missouri, man, what a rich racing history down here. And I don't get down here a lot, but I get down here enough to see that, man, a lot of nice racers down here. Gentlemen, just good racing goes on down this way.
Yeah, I think that's one of the greatest things about racing is the people that you meet and the relationships you build with people. Even like my engine builder and the guys that build my cars, you know, even though they're not quite in southwest Missouri, you know, they're good people, and that's one thing I like about racing. You meet a lot of good people.
On that subject, I understand this car is from a little bit across the United States. I think your car owner was telling me it was North Carolina?
Actually, they're from Tennessee. Their race shop is 6 miles south of Bristol, Tennessee. Okay. And they're a family operation, a mom, a dad, and a boy, and the brothers, and they're just like us. They're no big time. They want to race and have a good time and be able to go back next week.
You might mention that name of the chassis on it.
It's TNT race car. Tony Ford, Jensen's the son, and he also races crates, and they've got some cars that really compete really well.
Now, talking about racing in this late model scene, man, I mean, this has been tough. Probably one of the toughest late model drivers in the United States. Terry Phillips runs out of Springfield here. I know you run against him a lot, but the competition down this way, man, in the late models is, I mean, extra tough.
Yeah, you know, we can go out and you know, we live in this 4-state area. We can go to Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and we can win races. But it's harder to win a race at Springfield, Missouri, or Monette, and then any other place you can go. I mean, it's just Phillips and Stovall and Jackson, and really makes it tough for the local guys.
And 2 premier late model series down here too. We probably ought to mention them. Mars, for one, run by Mooningham out of Monette. Yep. And of course the MLRA, which of course is owned by Lucas Oil now, but of course Harriet and Cowboy used to run that, and of course they sold that to them because Cowboy passing here just in the last year. But like I say, 2 of the toughest. I mean, I don't get all over the United States, but man, around here you ain't gonna find it any tougher than those 2.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know it, but MLRA originated with Ken Essery and Randy Mooningham at Monette Speedway. Well, now we have Mars. Monette is their home track. And yeah, you know, you just back when I raced Mars full time, like in 06, 07, it was just about impossible to beat Terry Phillips and Bill Fry. And if you beat them in a heat race or anything, you had done something, because them guys, I mean, they own this area, and anywhere they went, they was that good, and they still are too. But at that time, it was, if you beat them too, you had really accomplished something.
Talking a little bit about today in this car here, and I noticed, I think it's a Yeoman engine you've got in there, but it's a spec motor. Now, yes, you're coming here, of course, this is not a Mars or an MLRA race, but still coming in here on this Sunday, I was talking with your car owner. Already probably one guy here got a $40,000 motor, and you guys are showing up with a spec motor. Now, this is like bringing a knife to a gunfight, man. I mean, are you going to have to pull some slick moves, or is it just the idea that, hey, this is what we brung, we'll run and get what we get?
Well, you can get out, and you can't make the motor go any faster, so you don't even look at it. So you got to work on your car and make sure it's as good as you can get it. And if you're not very good through the corners, it's really going to show up. I mean, you don't have a chance to pass somebody down straightaway. You got to be excellent through the corners, and that's what it takes. I mean, and the spec motors are good. I have no problem with them. It's just a lot cheaper way of going, a lot easier on everything, and it's the same motor that we won the 4-state Mars race with, and we've won the Turkey Classic with the same motor. Wow. And when things are right, we're going to do our best. If we're a little bit off, we're probably in trouble.
I was going to say, if the track conditions come to you, you're going to be ready, because you're going to have that motor that's going to take for them slick conditions. Yeah. But anyway, Justin, we're going to follow you around a little bit here tonight, hopefully not bother you too much, because we're going to hang out in the pit area with you and kind of see what goes on. Hopefully no disasters or anything like that.
We're just going to have a little fun, and let's go have a good time, and we'll see if we can get a big W.
Okay, we're going to follow Justin around tonight. He's been gracious enough to say, hey, come on, bring the camera. Let's see what we got here, what we can do. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put an in-car camera in, may leave it in for the A main, see how things go. But Justin, I'm like you, man. It's a nice, fairly warm Saturday. Let's have some fun, man, at Springfield Raceway.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We're gonna give her hell.
Patterson, what are we doing under here, dear?
Well, I'm getting all the mud, the excess mud off to make the car lighter, so it's not so heavy when it goes back out.
I guess that's one of the things about hot laps. It's not much good for anything other than putting more mud on there, right?
Yeah, and you have to get off as much as you can. That way when the driver goes back out, it's not quite so heavy on the car. But yeah, we all just kind of get in and do our part. But I think they recruited me.
I was going to say, well, all the time you spent scaling the car at home, all this mud just doesn't help very much, does it?
No.
Okay, no. Pauline, I won't bother you anymore. Go for it, girl.
All right, thanks.
We got Doug Hess, and he's grinding off a tire here. Doug, how many of them babies you got to do a night?
Oh, it just depends on the track. Most of the time, just 2 or 3, 4, a night. It just kind of helps you. It kind of helps you get a little bit better bite to the track.
And I'm somewhat surprised, as wet and tacky as that track was, and you're still grinding one off. I would have thought it would have been maybe like after it was a real dry slick and that thing had gotten hot or something.
Yeah, well, we didn't do much tire prep before we got here to the track. So, you know, that's probably why we're doing it right now. But, you know, it just kind of gets you, you know, I think it gives us a little better advantage, but that's just kind of my personal opinion.
I don't know how rough of a wheel you were using, but I felt those before. I mean, they actually leave grooves in there, but man, that feels pretty smooth there.
Yeah. Yeah, I use about a 40 grit on this one.
Yeah.
You know,
more or less just to get that top surface off, and that's
much,
it.
That's about it.
Yeah, and this will be for the heat race, but
this is for a heat race tire, yes.
And you don't think you'll be back after the heat race?
Back here?
Yeah, the grinding again.
I'll be back one more time for this one. Yeah.
Okay, Doug. Thanks a lot, buddy.
You bet.
Well, Justin, we've had the hot laps. Now we're going to be going out for the heat race here in a little bit, and I see you're making an adjustment. You see something out there a while ago you didn't like, or?
The track was real dirty and a little more traction than I kind of figured on, so we're taking a little travel out of the left rear to try to calm it down just a little bit. It's a little, the car wants to push the front end just from about the center off. It needs to be a little freer to go on through the corner.
Yeah.
So we're going to take about a 1/4 inch travel out.
I don't know whether it was by choice or whether it was by traffic that you were running into out there, but boy, up in the marbles there one time, I think they're in 1 and 2 really high.
Yeah, I got out there a lot farther than I meant to, but and like I said, I didn't know. I mean, I knew it was dirty out there, but I didn't realize it was that bad. So the car felt pretty good, other than just a little tight on the throttle. So.
I was gonna say, I think you won your part of the hot laps. the 3 or 4 cars you were running with.
Well, let's hope we can pass somebody in the heat race. That's the plan.
Where are you going to be starting? You know?
Hadn't even looked yet. I drawed about 168, which they said there's 300 numbers, so that's about halfway through.
Yeah.
So I figure about second row maybe. There's not a ton of cars, so we're gonna free up just a little bit and see if we can be a little bit better.
All right, man.
You know, you were.
Well, it's a lot different than what it was in the hot laps.
I was going to say, Justin, we just went up and watched, I think, a couple of V-Mod heat races there, and to me it looks like the track is slickening off going in, but it's still pretty moist coming out. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, you know, it looks like there's 2 good grooves. There's a high groove and a low groove, and I think, depending on how good your car is, you can use both of them. I mean, this track's usually, it's just usually pretty tough because there's, you got the outside, it's got momentum, and you got the bottom, it's got moisture. So I think if you got a car, you'll be able to get up through there.
It's going to depend a lot too on where you start, or is it going to be pretty easy to change lanes and kind of get where you want?
I think there's plenty of lanes you can pick from, and if your car's good enough, you'll be able to get up there no matter where you start.
You still don't know where you're starting yet?
3rd row inside.
3rd row inside.
So we'll see what happens. I think we're all right.
I was going to say, is that Justin Wells' line there to be running down around the bottom?
No, I like that outside, but if I have to, I'll be right on that bottom. I wish we'd draw it about a front row outside, but we'll live with what we got and we'll make her work.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Like I say, I'm tired of talking. Let's race.
Let's get more earplugs.
I think I might have some.
Mine ain't working for some reason.
Earplugs?
No, some earbuds to go in my
earbuds.
receiver. My receiver wasn't working in the hot lap. So.
Missy Wells here, and this is Justin's wife. Missy, we were just talking there just a little while ago about you and Justin met, and sound like a good story. Can you tell me just a little bit about that? I think you guys think you met in November.
We met in November and hit it off. Got married March 31st in Eureka Springs, and then we rushed back home that very next day so I could go attend my very first race.
You knew he was a race car driver.
I knew he was a race car driver, but I'd never been before.
Okay. You were talking about he spun out in the very first race, and
yeah, he's getting ready to hot lap. Hadn't even ran a lap at full speed yet. He's warming up his tires, you know, how they do, and he spun out, and I thought, okay, that's enough. I will never go to the races again.
And this was how long ago?
Almost 20 years ago. In March, it'll be 20 years.
And you're still coming.
Yeah, I'm still coming. He talked me back into it.
You got over that initial shock and found out it might be some fun.
Yeah, it's work, but it's fun too.
Yeah. I asked you a while ago, and I think we had a little miscommunication on the question, but I asked you, did you think it would last this long? And you thought it was marriage, and I meant to racing.
Racing, yes. I think he'll always race. You know, he always says he's going to quit or give it up, or, you know, he's getting too old or whatever. But yeah, he'll race. Yeah. He'll be like Kenneth Estrie, you know, race until he's in his 60s. So, you know.
They seem to do that nowadays, don't they?
You know, and he's good at it. He should.
I was going to say, people that are successful like Justin is, it becomes a part of your life, and I think it's hard to get away from it. It's part of your identity, I guess we could say. I wanted to ask you about your boy, and I'm sorry I don't know his name.
Cole.
Cole. Now, Cole's starting to race. Has that added any more stress to the daily race routine?
That's a little bit more stress, especially when they're on the track together. It's a lot more stress on me. But, you know, they do really well. They help each other. Justin's there when Cole needs him, and Cole's learned so much. He's a good kid. He tries really hard.
I was going to say, sometimes this racing deal can be a good motivator too for kids through high school.
It's really helped with his grades.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And his work ethic, so yeah. It's been very good.
You're talking about Justin maybe racing until he's 60. You've seen him over the years. I'm sure Justin's probably in his prime right now. The best he's ever been.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, he won those 2 national championships. Can't remember what years, 05 and 06
with
maybe. IMCA.
Okay.
Yeah, IMCA. You know, which we don't have that around here anymore. So, but yeah, he's in his prime. You know, we've got a couple of good cars, so yeah. I think next year he's going to go back into it full time next year. You know, he took the first half of the season off this year to help with Cole. So yeah, next year I think it'll be a good year for us.
Yeah. I was going to say, it never hurts to always have a little bit more money in the pocket, especially somebody else's.
Yeah. Hopefully we get that.
And I was going to say, how's the deal with sponsorship down here in southwest Missouri? Is sponsorship, I presume, like it is everywhere else, it's just a tough deal?
Yeah, it is tough. Right now we ain't got a whole bunch of big sponsorships, but hopefully by next year, you know, we're talking to some people, so hopefully next year it'll be a little bit easier.
Yeah. Well, Missy, it's been fun talking to you. And we always seem to get somebody behind us.
You've had about 6 so far.
that wants to make a joke or something. But anyway, Missy, having a good time here on a Saturday afternoon, and appreciate you talking to us. Always good to get the the wife's perspective on the racing deal, and it's good to see that you and Justin, you know, have kept good relationships through all this, because boy, sometimes it can really do a marriage in, but looks like you guys have worked at it.
Oh yeah, I think the racing keeps us sane, actually. It makes us better, so yeah.
Well, okay, man, let's have some fun. I want to see this guy get out on the track. I'm tired of talking. How about you?
Yeah.
All right, let's go get him.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, dude. Well, Justin, it looks like you made all the choices right there for the heat race, buddy. You come up from, I think, 5th up to 1st. Had to kind of hang down there for a couple of laps, but boy, once you got going, I mean, look out, man. Probably straightaway lead by the time it was over.
Yeah, the car was good. We're kind of learning this. This is a new car. It doesn't have many nights on it, and a whole new style front end. And we're just every time we go to the races, we're learning. And I think we made a big step tonight. So I think if we make the right changes, we'll have a good shot at the win.
Talking about changes, what do you think you're going to have to do to the car? Because like I say, you outran everybody that was out there by a straightaway. What can you do to make it better? I mean, what, getting off the corner right or what?
Well, I tell you, we hot lapped in muddy conditions, and the track slicked up considerable, and I made probably too many changes on it after the hot laps, and we went a little too far. So I'm gonna want to do some of the changes that we made, a little chain in it, and probably soften the right front spring up just a little bit, and probably put a little fuel in it and go racing.
Now, when you talk about softening up the right front, is that going to make it turn better?
Yeah, we're needing to turn a little bit better. We're just a tick tight right in the center, and I think if we can soften the right front spring up 25 pounds, it'll maybe let it turn in a little bit better.
Well, like you said, man, these races are won and lost in the corners. Anybody can go fast down the straightaway. I mean, let's face it, I don't care how big a motor you got, you're going to go fast, but man, it's getting through them corners and getting through there fast.
Yeah, you know, like I say, we can't go any faster down straightaway. She's on the floor, so we got to get faster to the corner if we want to win this.
Well, and I'm sure that Hoffman ain't going to leave that track the way it is out there. He's probably going to work on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably smooth it out, maybe make that top a little better. I know I always ask guys this before a race, but what are you going to be looking for in that race? You're going to try for the high side? I mean, it looked like Stovall was up there running like a crazy man. Yeah. So is that going to be the place, or are you going to go where they aren't? You're going to go to the bottom and try and work it down there?
I guess depends on when we start. We should be on the front row. I don't know if it'll be the pole or the outside. Whichever lane we start on, that's probably where I'm going to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, he probably got as many passing points if that's what they use here as you did. So you're going to be one or the other, I'm sure.
Yeah, whichever lane he's not in, I'm going to occupy the other. And he was fast, so he's the guy you got to beat.
I was going to say it's almost kind of a have-to thing.
Yeah. Well, I hope we make a race out of it, no matter how it goes. I hope the crowd gets a good show out of it.
Yeah.
And Jerry always gives us a good track, good two-lane track. And you know, coming up here, I always know you've either got the long way around the outside, or you can pedal it down on the bottom. So I think the track will be there.
Well, one more thing, just in case I don't see you later, I'll probably be back if you win, but if I don't see you later, you got any sponsors, anybody you want to thank on this deal?
Oh yeah, man, I got a slew of people. I mean, number one, my family, they come out here and help me, and I got Bill Vance Marine here, and BMP Discount Groceries. They've been with me forever, just nice guys. And Chris Davis, Midwest Sheet Metal, and John Yeoman Racing Engines.
I was just talking to Yeoman down there. I told him, I said, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. I've seen a lot of your motors win a lot of races. So
yeah, he's the nicest guy in this pits, and glad he's in our corner.
All right, Justin, once again, I'm done with the talking, man. Let's race.
Let's go get her done.